Jesus Christ. Was Yoda Jewish? Analysis of Star Wars. Alright. What the hell? Krzyk. Oh, God. Like me. Really? Alright, let's go. It's the guy that at the end of 2023 stormed the Polish parliament with a fire extinguisher and decided to attack the Hanukkah candle. Oh boy. Okay. Alright. I really don't recognize this guy without the beard and yeah, I'm telling you, was Yoda Jewish? Yeah, he did. Famously or infamously. He also attacked a Christmas tree because it had Ukraine-themed decorations, so he's a loon. And he's a presidential candidate in the current presidential election, so we get to hear him say a lot of loony things. No, that's from 9 years ago. That explains why he doesn't have the crazy beard. He looks different now. Yeah, he looks different without the beard. My God, he was always such an anti-Semite. I mean, consistency, I guess. I guess he is consistent, if anything. I cannot say that he is not being consistent.
Spotkaliśmy Grzegorza Brauna. Chcę mu zadać jedno. Czy Yoda z Gwiezdnych Wojen był Żydem?
Oh, he got asked this question. He didn't... Jesus Christ. People trolled him 9 years ago. People trolled him already 9 years ago by asking him that. Was Yoda from Star Wars Jewish? Analysis. I have no clue. Thank you, algorithm, for reminding this about this masterpiece. It fucks me up that people at this airport have no idea that they're passing by this guy who's analyzing if Yoda from Star Wars was Jewish. What the hell? Oh my God!
Jak rozumiem, to jest pytanie o prawdziwy sens Gwiezdnych Wojen.
As I understand, this is a question about the true meaning of Star Wars. What's really going on in Star Wars?
Kto jest kim?
Who's who?
Za tą propagandową fasadą.
Who's who beneath the propagandistic facade of Star Wars?
To jest narracja Lucasa.
Exactly. Who's who in this propagandistic facade, which is the narration of Lucas?
Trzeba zauważyć, że Gwiezdne Wojny to produkt propagandy republikańskiej. Propagandy republikańskiej demokratycznej.
So you have to know that Star Wars is a product of Republican propaganda, of the Democratic Republican propaganda.
Monarchiczny produkt.
It is an anti-monarchy product. Yes, he did. This is why first comment is thank you, algorithm, for reminding us of this masterpiece. It is anti-monarchy propaganda.
Propagandowy.
The body language is also amazing from this guy. Oh my God, I have to share such things with the world. I'm sharing Polish culture right now. I'm sharing with you this amazing time. Oh God.
Wychodzi z worka w drugiej serii Gwiezdnych Wojen, drugiej wedle chronologii produkcji, nie zaś wedle chronologii opowieści.
Oh my God.
W tej drugiej serii zrobił 90.
The cat comes out of the bag in the second series of Star Wars. Not second according to the chronology in the story, but second in production. That second series that was produced in the 90s. And in that series, we're about to hear what's up.
Dowiadujemy się o szeregu istotnych faktów, pomagają nam zrozumieć, jaki jest rzeczywiście rozkład sił i podział ról w Gwiezdnych.
And in that second series, we get to understand what is the division of power and division of roles that allow us to understand the situation within Star Wars.
Otóż przede wszystkim to dopiero tam dowiemy się, jaka jest przyczyna tej wielkiej galaktycznej.
And I would like to point out that it is only in that second series that we learn the true reason for this huge galactic war.
Przepraszam bardzo.
What a guy. Jesus.
Do wojny doszło, ponieważ intergalaktyczny Senat podniósł podatki, co nie uszczęśliwiło gildii handlowej, która zainicjowała w sekrecie produkcję klonów, dronów, które miały posłużyć do przejęcia władzy w galaktyce.
So this intergalactic war started because the Intergalactic Senate raised taxes, which caused the Trade Federation to secretly build drones, clones, and what have you to take over the galaxy.
No, to już jest ważne odkrycie. Przyczyną wojny są etatystyczne praktyki, fiskalizm w polityce demokratycznego organu władzy zwierzchni.
There already is a huge information for us that the fiscal policy of the intergalactic parliament is the culprit behind the gigantic war in the first trilogy.
Typowe.
How typical. Yeah, how typical for intergalactic wars to start because intergalactic senates raise taxes. Pfft, classic. Of course, how typical.
Nie ma takiego łajdactwa, nie ma takiej podłości, do której nie posunie się demokratyczna władza w potrzebie pieniędzy. A więc
There's no thievery or there's no despicable behavior that democratic rule will not go to in search for money. What the fuck?
Senat nakłada podatki,
The Senate puts on taxes,
bunt.
and then there is opposition, and then there's war.
W tej wojnie jestem oczywiście po stronie gildii handlowej,
And
która
of course, in that war, I stand with the Trade Federation.
zaprotestowała przeciwko nieuczciwemu, skrajnemu fiskalizmowi
Which protested against the unfair and radical fiscalism.
Senatu Galaktycznego. Dalej,
The political analysis of Star Wars by the biggest lunatic of Polish politics. This is a treat. This is a treat. This is a real treat. Oh my goodness. I just stumbled upon this randomly, right? Just now. I didn't know this existed. But whenever I see Grzegorz Braun, whenever I see the name Grzegorz Braun, I know it's gonna be something. I'm not gonna say good. I'm not gonna use that word, but I'm gonna use the word interesting. I know it's gonna be interesting each time I see that guy's name on the screen because I know he says the craziest stuff.
zauważmy, że bohaterka, którą jeszcze na początku nazywa się księżniczką, w drugiej części w chronologii opowiadania jest już tytułowana panią senator.
Let's notice that the heroine that in the first, we're talking about Padme, of course. Let's notice that the heroine, which in the first movie is called a princess, in the second one is instead titled senator.
Kto jest obok niej w tym galaktycznym senacie, kto tam zasiada? No, między innymi ten największy idiota z pierwszego filmu w chronologii opowiadania.
Who is with her in that senate as a senator? Well, the biggest idiot of the first movie, chronologically, in this story.
Ten z długimi uszami, wiecie państwo, Jar Jar Binks, tak?
The one with the long ears, you know, Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks.
Tutaj przemawia podświadomość, wychodzi na jaw prawda. Powiadam, jest to dzieło propagandy demokratycznej.
So this is where the unconscious comes forward, even though I'm saying that these movies are a work of democratic Republican propaganda.
No to właśnie z obfitości serca usta mówią. Taka jest rzeczywistość demokracji, że Senat
And yes, this is what this piece says. This is the reality of democracy.
senatorami, posłami zostają najwięksi idioci. Tacy,
That senators and politicians are the biggest idiots.
którzy gwarantują swoim mocodawcom, że niczego nie będą rozumieli i zrobią
That guarantee to the people that put them in charge that they will not understand anything and they will do everything that they will be expected of them by their masters.
kto zaś jest mocodawcą. Nurki.
And who pulls the strings?
To ma realną władzę w galaktyce.
Who has the real power in the galaxy?
Okazuje się, że za fasadą demokracji, za tym całym senatem, jest jakieś kółko, któremu przewodzi jegomość.
It's what? So it seems like beyond the facade of a senate, there's a small cabal. Okay, behind the senate, there's a small cabal ruled by a very short individual,
Podejmuje się realne decyzje.
and it's there where real decisions are being made. Is he saying that? Does this guy think that the Jedi Council actually ruled the Republic? Did he even pay attention? The Jedi Council did not rule the Republic, the old one or the new one. What? What the hell? And Yoda was not even in charge, quote. He was the Grandmaster, but he was not in charge of the... Do I have to nerd out on Star Wars lore now? Since when was Yoda the boss of the Jedi Council? Jesus Christ. Yeah, the real decisions about the Republic were made by the Jedi Council. That is exactly why they just shut down Palpatine instantly when he wanted to get in charge, because they were calling the shots. They were the string pullers somehow. Is this Star Wars political Yeah, I'm analyzing a video by I am analyzing an old analysis by the current Polish politician that is running for president. Yeah, this guy is running for president now, so it's relevant for me to learn more about him, you know? I want to know what he's, you know, maybe I'll be swayed. Maybe when the time comes, I'll just, you know, maybe I'll just take his name when on the ballot, right? And throw it in the box. Maybe Grzegorz Braun is my guy, so let's watch a bit more. Let's, there are like at least 10 candidates and I want to know who to vote for, so I want to be an informed voter. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's the situation. That is the gist of it.
Tu się robi politykę. Senat tylko obraduje, a
This is where politics are made. The Senate just sort of has meetings.
decydują rycerze Jedi, czyli bezpieka. Czyli
Oh my god! Oh, I have to... Oh my god! Bezpieka! So, the real decisions... Bezpieka is... The real decisions are made by the Jedi, who are the security service, you know? Wait, I have to find a proper translation for this, okay? Hold on. I have to. I don't know how to translate this. Bezpieka. English. Security service, yeah. They're the security service. The security service, who are the Jedi, are the real people in charge, you see. It's, yeah, of course. Naturally. Yay.
intergalaktyczna bezpieka.
The intergalactic security service. Ubecja! He's basically comparing the Jedi Council to a group of to the security service that existed in Poland when Poland was communist, that terrorized the population. Okay, he's comparing them to like those security forces in Poland that everybody hated, that were sent to just, you know, brutalize the population during the Polish People's Republic. It's hilarious. What the hell? Oh god. Oh my gosh. This is actually interesting because bezpieka has a very negative connotation in Polish, in Poland, but that is how also Ukrainian security service is called, and it does not have that negative connotation. But when I hear it in conversation, when I hear like in interviews with Ukrainian people, when they say, "Oh, I want to be," for example, "I want to work in bezpieka," I'm like, "Ooh," yeah. The word just to me sends a little bit of a shiver, like, you know. But that's okay. That's neither here nor there. Let's continue. Brilliant analysis so far. I'm not disappointed. Also, thank you, Jordan. It's confusing. She lives with Judas.
Z tym całym małym jodą. Znaczy,
So this little Yoda is at the top of that security service.
nawet w tym wąskim kręgu zamordyzm i jedynowładztwo, bo przecież Joda, owszem, może i zasięga rady, ale tak naprawdę podejmuje decyzje osobiście.
Oh my god, even in this small circle, it's just, you know, he just holds everything by the face, and maybe he'll ask for advice, but in the end, Yoda basically makes all the decisions on his own because he's in charge. Did he watch the same prequel trilogy as me?
Bekami, do których misji dorobiona jest cała taka romantyczna legenda, prawda? Rycerze Jedi, prawda?
What proves that they're basically a security service with an added romantic legend about them being Jedi Knights.
Bezpieka.
It's just security service.
To, że
Bezpieka.
że to jest takie intergalaktyczne KGB.
They're basically an intergalactic KGB. Oh my god. Only in Poland you'll get such brilliant analysis of Star Wars. The Jedi Council is the intergalactic KGB. Only in Poland will you get such gems. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. The famous intergalactic KGB. I guess by that logic, I don't know. Which member of the Jedi Council is Vladimir Putin? Oh, goodness gracious. Intergalactic KGB.
Również potwierdzają rozliczne przykłady z praktyki.
And the fact that they're the intergalactic KGB is proven by many examples of their actions in practice.
Pamiętacie Państwo tę scenę, całą sekwencję, w której młody Obi-Wan z młodym Skywalkerem wkraczają do jakiegoś lokalu i tam...
Do you remember the whole sequence when the young Obi-Wan with the young Anakin Skywalker enter an establishment?
Obi-Wan tak mimochodem przeprowadza pranie mózgu jednego z klientów.
Obi-Wan just casually brainwashes one of the customers.
Poleca mu iść do domu i przemyśleć całe swoje życie.
They tell the customer, he brainwashes one of the customers casually to go home and rethink their whole life. Wasn't it some sort of like a drug dealer or something? Whatever.
Pranie mózgu, zakulisowe decyzje.
Brainwashing, behind the scenes decision making.
I pociąganie za sznurki za fasadą
and string pulling behind the facade
demokracji.
Of democracy.
Przedstawiony w Gwiezdnych Wojnach. Taka jest Republika.
That is the world depicted in Star Wars. That is the Republic. I guess the Republic is basically the Soviet Union, according to Grzegorz Braun. And And the Jedi Council is the KGB that is actually in charge. He still hasn't answered the question if Yoda was Jewish, but I'm getting an analysis. I'm getting a fascinating analysis of you will admit, okay? You will admit that you have never heard such an analysis of the franchise in your life, okay? When have you ever heard from anyone that the Jedi Council is basically the intergalactic KGB?
Przedstawiona w Gwiezdnych Wojnach. No i teraz wobec tego, skoro rycerze Jedi to bezpieka, to
So the Jedi Knights are the security service, KGB.
kim jest Skywalker senior? Kim jest późniejszy Lord Vader? To oczywiście
So who's the Skywalker senior? Who's the person that later became a Lord Vader?
buntownik, to oczywiście jedyna szlachetna jednostka, Nick Kukliński.
He is of course a rebel, the only noble individual in this whole mess. He has to be, okay, I would say that he has to be trolling, okay? I would say that he has to be trolling if it weren't for the fact that I heard him say much crazier things completely seriously. So, yes.
W Gwiezdnych Wojnach jedyny człowiek, który przeciwko temu systemowi się buntuje.
He's the only person that I guess fights against this system. Wait, what about Palpatine? Who's Palpatine in this system? Who's Palpatine in his analysis then? If Anakin is the only person that stands against this system, then who exactly is Palpatine? Anakin didn't overthrow the Republic. Palpatine did.
Człowiek, który przechodzi na stronę normalnych ludzi.
Anakin is the only person that goes to the side of the normal people.
I wypowiada wojnę bezpiece.
And he wages war against the KGB. Oh my god.
No i skoro tak, to
And since that's the case,
jest najbardziej obsmarowany przez swoich adwersarzy.
then he has to be the most smeared by his adversaries.
Generałowie Jaruzelski i Kiszczak najbardziej nienawidzili pułkownika Kuklińskiego za
The Polish communist generals hated the rebel general the most. He's referring to Polish history.
to, że wyłamał się, złamał zmowę milczenia
Because he broke out and fought against the regime.
i nie trzymał wspólnego frontu zdrajców.
He was a traitor
Oficer Ludowego Wojska Polskiego.
to the Polish Republic's army.
I próbowali do dziś, ci, którzy jeszcze żyją, pułkownika Kuklińskiego oczernić. I
And they still try to smear him.
podobnie w Gwiezdnych Wojnach.
And so similarly in Star Wars, Anakin Skywalker is being smeared.
Autora narracji.
Jesus Christ Almighty. Oh my gosh. Gregor Brown is precious. A precious politician, okay? I would not have him any other way. This is definitely going to be a thing. Oh my god. Maybe I should vote for him.
Narratora, nazwijmy to filologicznie, podmiot autora w tych wojnach.
So yes, Anakin is smeared by the author of this, the narrator of, let's call it in philology terms.
Nazwijmy to filologicznie podmiot wypowiadający Gwiezdnych.
The subject that describes.
Przemawia głosem propagandy republikańskiej.
So yes, the author speaks about Anakin Skywalker with the voice of the Republican propaganda. Oh boy.
Zdaje mi się, że
I think
dzieło
this work.
propagandowe
I think that this work of propaganda,
w istocie bardziej o tym, jakie są realne
in fact, tells us a lot about what the real interactions within the system are.
świecie demokracji.
It tells us a lot about the realities of the so-called democratic world. Or rather, it just tells us about the realities of the democratic world. Because this guy just hates democracy and would like a monarchy. Which is weird that he's now, years later, running for president. But whatever, it's whatever. We're all gonna vote for him here, you know? He's gonna be, this is my president. You think you have a lunatic as president? Wait till we get Jagger Brown. He's my president.
Wracając do pierwszej serii, pierwszej w chronologii produkcji.
Going back to the first trilogy, the third production chronologically.
Jaki model realizuje zatem historia Skywalkera Juniora?
So what model of propaganda is being realized in the story of the Skywalker Jr.,
Młodego Luka.
the young Luke?
To jest historia Pawlika Morozowa.
It is the story of Pavlik Morozov.
Pamiętacie Państwo tę legendę propagandy sowieckiej?
You remember this legend of Soviet propaganda?
Młodziutki chłopiec, który zostaje bohaterem Związku Sowieckiego, własnego ojca, kołchoźnika, że
A young person that becomes what? What the what?
bohaterem Związku Sowieckiego.
A young boy that becomes the hero of the Soviet Union because he I don't know, he told on his own father from the kolkhoz.
Ponieważ doniósł na własnego ojca, kołchoźnika, że nie oddał władzy całego zboża, jakie zostało zebrane z pola.
Yes, the young boy that becomes the hero of the Soviet Union because he told on his father that he did not give up all of his grain to the government.
Luke Skywalker to taki Pawlik Morozow,
Luke Skywalker is this Pavlik Morozov,
który po przepraniu mu mózgu przez bezpiekę podnosi
who after having his brain, who after undergoing brainwashing by the KGB,
rękę na własnego ojca.
goes against his own father.
Takie to są wzorce, tacy bohaterowie, a jeszcze
These are the these are the values, these are the things that are shown to us in those movies.
kim otacza się władza, ta zakulisowa władza bezpieczniaków.
Let's see who this behind the scene power, who these behind the scene rulers of the KGB surround themselves with.
Z czyjej pomocy korzysta? No
Whose help do they use?
to są lumpen proletariusze, to są przestępcy, kryminaliści,
They are the lumpen proletariat, criminals,
przemytnicy,
smugglers.
Han Solo. To typowe dla każdej rewolucji bolszewickiej i
It's typical for every Bolshevik revolution,
dla każdej władzy rewolucyjno-demokratycznej.
and it's typical for any revolutionary democratic rule.
Musi ona odwoływać się do ludzi marginesu społecznego po to,
It has to utilize people from the societal margin
żeby sprawić się z nami, ludźmi uczciwymi i normalnymi.
to take care of us, honest people and normal people.
Taki jest mój wykład podświadomości Gwiezdnych Wojen.
That is my lecture on the subconsciousness of Star Wars.
Taki jest ukryty ich sens i
That is the hidden meaning,
taki jest podtekst całej tej historii.
such as the subtext of this whole thing.
Reasumując krótko, czy Yoda mógł
So to sum up really quickly,
być Żydem?
could Yoda be Jewish?
Pan powiedział, muszę to przemyśleć, jeszcze raz obejrzeć wszystkich 6 filmów i wówczas udzielić na to pytanie.
You said it. I have to think about it. I have to think on it. I have to watch all 6 movies again, and then I can give you an answer to the question of whether or not Yoda is Jewish. Thank you. It's So that's it, basically. That's the glimpse into the mind of Grzegorz Braun, one of the running candidates for president in Poland. So as you can see, the world of Polish politics is definitely not boring, okay? They're definitely not a boring affair, definitely something that delivers on the crazy at least, and who knows? I'm gonna start a little bit of a poll. I wonder how many people are being active right now. I just wanna know, should I vote for Grzegorz Braun? I just after this, he is your president, would be answer number 1. Okay, the second one will be no, please no. Okay, start. Let's see who's here still. My god, that was something else, wasn't it? That was just amazing. That was great. Are you saying he's not my president? I will just one vote. It'll even out. It'll even out. I'm sure there will be people at some point that will tell me to vote for the correct candidate, which is Grzegorz Braun. It's gonna happen. The wheels of time are turning, and it's time for something new. We're fighting the KGB together. The KGB must be defeated. There's no time. There's no time to lose. The KGB must get its comeuppance. I cannot believe only one person's voting. Let me check something real quick. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I did this an hour ago. Never mind. What a thumbnail. What a thumbnail, indeed. I feel like my vote has more weight when it's anonymous. I mean, it is always anonymous. Your name is not displayed, okay? There are 8 people in the chat, in the YouTube chat right now. Make yourself vocally known, because now we're gonna leave the memes of the Polish politics, which that was amazing. We're gonna read some comments, and then we're gonna get back to the depressing news of President Trump ruling the world and trying his best to give Russia as much of Ukraine as possible. It scares me that this man has watched these movies and has twisted them in his head. Well, he now wants to. Well, he then wanted to watch them again to analyze if Yoda was Jewish. When I saw this for the first time, I was sure that Braun was just a troll. Now I think that in his own way, he's a genius. Very nicely omitted motive of Senator Palpatine. Could it be Mr. Grzegorz? Racist folklore is kind of a tradition in Eastern Europe, isn't it? I'm not... Can you give me an example? Instead of going to bed, I am watching this. From 4 hours ago. Wow. Instead of going to bed, I am watching this. Just 4 hours ago, okay? People are... Oh, YouTube algorithm. What have I done to you that you have failed me so much in these dark chasms of intergalactic communism? Is Braun carrying a stationary phone with him? The president of 2025, Grzegorz Braun. Beautiful. Let's troll the whole world and elect him president. The preparation for oral high school exam in 2 weeks. But he changed. Classic. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. Okay. That's enough. That's enough. Only one of you has decided to vote. Goodness, Polish politics they fascinate me. I don't know if they fascinate anybody else, but they sure as hell fascinate me.